Good evening. This week from City Hall, we have Mr. Nathaniel Johnson, and he'll be talking to us about some things and opportunities that you have that a lot of us don't know anything about. It will be beneficial to us. Right now, this is Mr. Johnson. And Mr. Johnson, give me a little information about yourself so that people know who you are.
Right now, I'm retired. I came here in 1980 from Kansas City, Missouri. The federal government recruited me because I was a veteran, and I worked in the Department of Defense for 35 years, and then I retired, and now I work part-time at Craven Community College in Havelock, North Carolina.
Mr. Johnson, how about telling us some of your experiences in jobs?
The job market is open, but you must have the educational background, you must apply for the jobs, and in some cases, you're going to run into some problems with some individuals. But please, whatever you do, don't let this stop you.
Now, you may know them, but I'm not asking you to tell me, but all the ones I've seen that you was, somebody was struggling in, I've seen you come through there and pull them out, or I've seen you come through with some method of making sure that we'd be able to get that aircraft or do whatever I have to do to get that aircraft out in the field. Why are you such a great fighter?
I guess it's in my blood. My thing is, I had the most outstanding job at the depot, and the good Lord blessed me with that job, and so I went out and tried to do the best I could do each and every day.
You didn't allow people to walk over people, or if something was strictly wrong, if a person didn't know, you would tell them. You never kept it to yourself. Yes,
I was a collateral duty EEO officer for the depot for 5 years. And so I think you're talking about one of the cases which I had. And so anytime I saw someone in stress, and as long as they were correct in applying for what they were trying to do, I would go out of my way to try to help them.
Yes, sir. That's about 35 years ago, I guess, 30-something years ago when that come about.
Well, I retired in 2008, so it's been a little bit longer now.
Yeah, I know.
Add about 10 years to that.
Okay, But other than that, I know that when you did go overseas to do work at other depots, I guess, to make sure the aircraft got the parts and everything they needed or checking on the aircraft. I never knew all. I was so disappointed that you were gone because I thought you were so important at Cherry Point that they decided, because you get in stuff and if it wasn't right, you straighten it out. And I thought that might have been a reason that you were sent overseas, but I found out you went over to do other things too.
Yeah, that was, like I said, once I got promoted to planner and estimator, that was part of my job description, and I loved to travel at the time, so they gave me the avenue to go out and help the fleet in what they're trying to do with the aircraft, because after so many flight hours, each aircraft is supposed to have some type of inspection, and then I determined, the repair procedure, the man hours, the material costs, and got it done, and that raised our depot is one of the number one depots as I worked during that time.
Yeah. Now the other thing is that you was at Craven.
Yes, I went to Craven Community College after I retired. I went to a fundraiser, and Craven asked me a question about a class, and I ended up I've been working part-time ever since I left the federal sector, getting involved in the community.
Would you tell us how one could get into your classes or get in the class out there so they may be qualified to work down Cherry Point or do some aircraft work if possible?
Yes, I was teaching a sheet metal class, but I no longer teach that, but I do help individuals put in for jobs on usajobs.gov and help them prepare their resumes to get hired. At Craven Community College down in Havelock only, we have an engineering program which is very unique. This program is sanctioned by North Carolina State. You can spend 4 years at Craven Community College in Havelock, or you can do the 2+2, 2 years at Havelock, and then 2 years at North Carolina State with a transfer. There are a bunch of scholarships available for young men and women to get involved in this program, and we need to get our community involved and make them aware that this program does exist.
Okay, you have the information?
Yes, a little bit of the information, and I'm not going to go through all this information, but for example, once a student has successfully completed the first sophomore level engineering course, they are eligible to apply for the Engineering Development Assistant Program, EDAP, at FRC East. Students go through a competitive hiring process, and if hired, are able to work full or part-time according to their class schedule, course workload. EDAP students may also qualify for tuition assistance. Upon graduation, students may continue their employment at FRC East, but at a full engineering pay grade. And this is a program which works very good. Also, once you get a full-time job at FRC East, the reason it's always jobs open in the engineering process is because other jobs or other engineering places outside of FRC East come and recruit these young men and women, and they move on for higher pay.
Okay. Mr. Johnson, could you tell us something about the veterans, I guess you call it veterans plan?
Yeah, we have a good veterans program at Craven Community College in New Bern, North Carolina, and Havelock, and we got several programs open, and we have a workforce development program where veterans can get assistance from their VA, from the time they served in the military. And we have a program for truck driving school for CDL license and other programs. So just go to our website, Craven Community College, and cravencc.edu.org.
That's pretty good. I notice you have a list of agenda over here with a lot of things on it. You want to talk about them?
I can talk about them a little bit. These are other things I'm involved in here in this area. And the thing I want to make sure that everyone understands, once you retire, or don't wait till you retire, get involved in your community. We cannot wait on Washington, D.C. We must help ourselves here by getting involved in our own community. And I'm also the president of the National Association of Active and Retired Federal Employees. I'm on the board of the Boys and Girls Club. I'm also a lifetime member of the FMA, which is the Federal Managers Association. So get involved in your community. We got Habitat for Humanity, who's building homes here for needy people. Join in, help us. We got the food banks, RCS here in New Bern, and down in Havelock, we got our own food bank, and we made a big donation to them. Our FMA did this morning, for a $1,000 check and about 300 pounds of food today. So my main thing is get involved in your community as much as possible. Also at Craven, we have a program called Careers Readiness Certification. And this is a program that's in all 50 states where they do a basic skill test to make sure you're ready for the workforce. And this program costs about $48, and you get a certificate once you complete this small course. In New Bern, North Carolina, you can call Miss Cantel Dunn at 638-7224 at the New Bern campus. Down in Havelock, you can call Miss Kim Zaccarelli at 444-6013, and then you will meet me. We also have an outstanding Rotary Club, and I'm the chair of the CART, which is Coins for Alzheimer's Research. And that's another problem we have here in the United States that we need everyone to get involved in, because we got so many senior citizens, and it's hitting our young adults as well, Alzheimer's and dementia. And so we need to get involved, folks. We need to get involved. I can't say it so many times in our community, and quit sitting here waiting on the government.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah, our kids are very important, and I'm in another program involving Rotary, where we have the Interact at the Havelock High School, and we got them all in this area. I'm in Area 8 of Rotary, which encompass New Bern, Havelock, Oriental, New Sunrise, and Vanceboro. And all of us work together at the high school level. And then each year, we also go around to the third grade. We have a dictionary project. And I have 7 elementary schools in Havelock where we buy dictionaries for the third grade students. Some of these kids have never seen a dictionary in their life. You ought to see their faces when we give them their individual dictionary and say, write your name inside that dictionary, so they can go home and do their homework. And so we're busy doing that also. If we can help our youth and keep them out of trouble, like I said, the Boys and Girls Club is my baby. I'm telling you, I love the Boys and Girls Club because of all the things they do, and we need to get more of our adults involved and support to the Boys and Girls Club so we can keep these kids out of trouble.
That sounds good. We've got them going in New Bern, and they seem to be doing pretty well.
Yes, they are. I'm on that board as well with New Bern involved.
Y'all, they are in a building right there on Queen Street.
Yes.
Well, I grew up right there. I played on that field.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's the area I grew up in, you know. Back then, they got it paved now, but it was just dirt, you know, grass. But other than that, I don't know. What would you say for someone who's older and would like to give some time, or either would like to go back to school? What encouragement would you have?
We do have a program at Craven Community College for older adults going back to school. And believe it or not, it's free. I forgot to mention that. That is free for senior citizens to attend college right here in this area. And it's certain programs. And again, it's best you contact Craven Community College, and they can give you all the information, because I don't know all of it. Yeah. But I do remember seeing that program, and I said, wow, I said they need to make more seniors aware of this information. And they got different classes they can take too. They got knitting classes and all sorts of classes for older people to keep them going in this community.
Are you planning on, or do you still instruct at Craven?
Yes, I still instruct in Craven. When they get someone that's out, and I'll come in as a collateral duties instructor and work there, and then I help them train other teachers that are coming on as adjuncts. An adjunct is a part-time teacher in my field, and I help them do that as well. Oh yes, yeah. If you can make it a career, you got the military and you got the Coast Guard, you know, and if you go in there and you like it, I would say yes, stay in and do the best job. It's a job. And give up your time, and a lot of them also volunteer when they're off work and stuff and helping the community. And that's why I'm saying it's so important to get these other people that are sitting at home doing nothing to come on out here and help us make this community better.
You had that right to a point. They're sitting home doing nothing but eating. Some of them are eating.
Well, yes, eating, yeah. But I'm saying doing more important things than eating.
Yeah, okay then. But other than that, Nate, I enjoyed talking with you. And excuse me for calling you Nate, but
no problem.
Sorry, we've been going on for a long time. And any time that you feel like you need to come back, or you want to come back, and you got anything else you want to talk about, you can talk about it now if you can.
No, that's all I can think of right now. I made some few notes here. I've gone through all my notes, so I'm out of stuff to talk about. One thing, the National Active and Retired Federal Employees, that's another thing that's dear to my heart. These are people who have worked for the federal government who have retired. And you don't have to retire to join this organization, and the organization is only $40 a month. But for some reason, we have problems getting people to join this organization. And this includes postal workers, TSA workers, anyone that's been in the federal sector. And what we've got to do now is protect our earned retirement. As you know, they're beginning to attack the federal sector. And we have got to speak up for ourselves. If we do not, a person who has not been in the federal sector does not have any idea of what we're doing. And most of our people in this federal sector are veterans. And why they're attacking us veterans, I have no idea in Washington, D.C. That civil service was established for veterans during World War II, and now this year, or well, I'll say a couple of years ago, they made it a priority to hire veterans, and now they're going to hurt the veterans who are in the workforce with trying to cut our pay and cut our work and then privatize the sector. But again, I don't think they realize that they're hurting veterans who are in the workforce and who they have put in the workforce by giving them the opportunity to be hired ahead of non-veterans.
Yeah, a lot of people don't understand that. I think most people that vote against veterans or things that veterans benefit from, a lot of those people have never been in service.
Right, they've never been in the military.
Yeah, so that's the difference too. Can you think of anything else? We keep on squeezing until like you can get something.
Well, let me see here. On the career readiness certification, again, let me go back to that. That is each test is 45 minutes. One is applied math. Another one is reading for information. Another one is locating information. The reason these were bought up and put into the system, and these are all being done in all 50 states of the United States of America. And what this does is tell the employer that you have the basic skills to be employed. What happened years ago, people, as you know, don't tell the truth sometimes on their resumes. And so they put in there that they knew this, knew that, and they didn't have the basic skills for the job. A lot of the jobs within the 50 states, here in North Carolina as well, like Moyne, Bosch, Weyerhaeuser, of the federal government, are requiring that you have this career readiness certification, which is CRC. Again, you can get this at Craven Community College at both locations, Havelock or the New Bern campus.
Okay, appreciate that. And I also want you to know that I receive the mail that we normally get from the NAF.
Oh, NARFE, N-A-R-F-E. Mm-hmm. Yeah, the National Association of Active and Retired Federal Employees.
I got that magazine.
Yes.
And then that magazine came in, and that was very enlightening. I mean, I went, saw some things in there, qualified for that, was pretty good.
Right. And that's why I try to get our retirees to go ahead, federal employees to go ahead and join, because, you know, that magazine is so important by answering questions and answers for you. And so that magazine is very important on answering questions that you cannot get into calling Washington, D.C. about by calling OPM. That magazine might have that question and answer session that might help you acquire that question about your retirement as you get ready for retirement. Also, it helps you with your insurance, Blue Cross Blue Shield, and what you should do about Medicare, where you only need, if you're a federal employee, Part A and Part B, and then your federal insurance cover the rest of your insurance, and you have to pay no copay once you turn 65 years old.
That sounds great. Well, I want to thank you again for coming. And I got to tell you, unless you've got another thing, or we'll get ready to close out.
Okay, thank you for inviting me, and I hope I get invited again. And I'll come back with more information next time I'm invited.